Hey there, everybody. Welcome to side quest number 3 for the TCP podcast. Today, we are actually recording in the coolest place I've ever recorded ever. We are at Daily Mews up in Charlotte, North Carolina today. So be sure to go on their website. It's dailymewscharlotte.com. They are a cat cafe. So basically what that is you get to hang out and drink coffee.
It's inside my shirt.
And enjoy cats as your company, as you just hang out and do your homework, do whatever you want here. Cover charge, it's only $12. I mean, not bad at all.
For a whole hour.
And you get a whole hour.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
super legit. I've got with me today Alex. We are going to be talking about a myriad of different cat topics, as well as some retro gaming topics too. This is our first this is our first 360 degree video, so you should be able to see all of the cats all around the room. There's a lot of them over there, and if you have a VR headset, be sure to strap one of those on and you'll be able to get...
We're doing that now?
You can see everything. You can look around.
That makes me sick.
If you've got an Oculus Quest, Oculus Rift, or Go, or anything like that, strap it on and you'll be able to see what we see, which is everywhere. And, if you've got just a phone, you can pan around too. So,
man, talk about my wheelhouse.
Right?
Like, I would just log in and
I
would just... to get away. Like, I was thinking, I asked the manager here, I was like, so what do you do for therapy? She's like, basically I come in here early and just pet every cat. And,
we just hang out with the cats.
Yeah, just start your day off like that.
Alex, you were telling me that they have from 5 months to 5 years. Is that what you're saying?
5 months to 5 years. They've got like categories and personalities for each of these cats.
That's awesome.
Just kind of lay it out for you. There were some twins that were just recently adopted, but they look to be like a year old, but they're really cute.
Yeah.
And we've got like Russian blues and then tabby cats and just kind of like a mixture of black cats and the ones with the little patches.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are definitely all fun.
Beautiful cats.
Loving cats.
They're obviously incredibly well taken care of. Loved daily by not only the owners, but also just the patrons of the store. So be sure to check them out, because this place is awesome.
Yeah,
already. And you might see some cats jumping up and interacting with us.
Yeah, I already had one like getting inside my shirt.
Yeah, and we had one crawling behind us and stuff.
Yeah,
here comes one. Yeah, so throughout the podcast, just be on the lookout. Count how many cats are in the room.
Got one. Oh yeah, you should like shout out if you can count all of them, you get like free swag.
Yeah, I'll send you a TCP sticker if you can tell me how many cats are in this room right now. Well, not right now, but throughout the podcast.
Sure.
So our first topic of conversation today,
just try to get that one to go.
There's going to be a lot of just pauses just to laugh. But our first topic is cats versus dogs, and I think we already know the answer based on where we're recording. But Alex, what do you think? Cats versus dogs?
Oh man, okay. Let's go back to this movie, and it's cats versus dogs, and it's like putting personalities with both sides. And they're basically saying, okay, if you're a pet person, you should totally go see this movie. And it's like, I think it was like 2002 or 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that was.
I think it was a car.
I thought it was like, I don't know. Anyway, so this movie kind of deals with all the pet lovers out there, and I didn't really like it, and my parents were kind of frustrated by it because they made the cats become the bad guy.
Yeah, they made them like evil, which is crazy.
Okay, yeah, I get that cats are independent and they like their space, and that that they march to their own beat. And sure, it's like hey, peasant, what have you done for me lately today? And maybe then I'll give you a little affection and care. But honestly, you get so many animals like this, and you get the ones that truly. What on earth? I don't know what that one's digging for.
I've never had a bad experience with a cat. Even if the cat has like a different personality, they're always like, it's still a cat.
Yeah.
They're still great. And I grew up with cats.
Yeah, my parents had 4 cats right at the get-go. So I grew up right away with all these purebred animals.
Yeah.
Always had a Siamese cat because my mom comes from Japanese descent, so we just have to have something like that in the household. And we've always had just kind of like an Abbey or just a mixture breed cat. We had one cat named Hobbs.
Nice.
Obviously, because you know which comic book that's from.
Right.
And then we had one named Moon Pie after the famous Southern cookie. Because
this one kind of looks like a moon pie.
Kind of.
Hello.
Little mixture of the mellow chocolate. And I'm just not swayed by dogs.
I don't get it.
I'm
not a dog person at all.
And I know so many people that are, and it is a huge commitment. And I just...
Dude, Whitney and I were talking about that yesterday. Literally, like, we wouldn't be able to have the same lifestyle if we had dogs.
Right.
And, I mean, we don't do anything crazy, but just the lifestyle of, like, we're going to go out for the day. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But with a cat, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
This one's friendly.
I know. This one's crawling all over. We have a couple of them that crawl back here.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people make it such a commitment with dogs that it almost seems like they're taking care of a baby or
for sure,
an extra child. Like I was at a running store yesterday, and that cat is all up on your buttons.
Hello.
And people will go into the shop and they have merchandise like this out there. You know, there are like these physical training bars that people roll over the muscles and stuff.
They're for dogs.
They're for dogs. Mm-hmm. They're for dogs that you can massage and care for your dog in such a way that it seems like, I don't know, it just seems like really over the top.
It is super over the top.
And the fact that you go to like yogurt or ice cream stores and you buy pops or little cups to feed your dog while you're enjoying some Ben and Jerry's.
Man, so my father-in-law's wife goes to Wendy's daily and gets multiple burgers without the buns.
No.
To feed the dogs.
No.
They eat people food.
No.
And she spends, I mean, like, it's at least $5 a day.
Yeah.
So what's 5 times 30?
Yeah.
Mackie doesn't do math, but
that's
a lot of money, like every day.
I'm sure that frustrates you because you love you some fast food.
I do, and the fact that I'm eating what the dog eats is crazy.
Yeah. And the fact that more and more, I don't know what this one was. What do you want?
He stole your cap.
I was like, what are you going for?
He just grabbed it and went with it. That's awesome. This one's beautiful. I want him to come over here.
I know.
He said, no, I'm tired.
I'm out. He's been like that since I got here.
Yeah.
There are some that are listening to us.
I was going to say, we've got a really cool audience today. They're like in the windowsills, like just soaking in the cast.
I think a lot of them are just like, all right. Oh. But once they steal my cap,
right,
they come out of the woodwork.
Then it is...
Guys,
new toy.
There are literally a dozen toys. Here, take this.
Oh, sorry.
I just hit one of them.
What? Ooh, we have a new challenger.
Other side. That's where the litter boxes are.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so
that's pretty cool.
I mean, you go in and there are these fancy gourmet cookie stores that only sell pet food for dogs, and it's just not I just can't grasp it. I love to have a pet, and a pet, in my opinion, is something that is at home and is there to greet me, and I don't have to like go all of these extra lengths to take care of it. I mean,
right.
You know, I think when people take on dogs, they kind of want to bring it into their lifestyle and really have it mingle with everything else that they're doing.
Yeah.
But I just don't get that, because you get more and more things going on in your life.
Right.
It's just put on the brakes, man, and do what's best for everybody else around you.
Cats are just better.
Cats are better
overall.
That's basically what I'm trying to say. Cats are better. I try to get my wife to maybe think about one. Sometimes we walk into the PetSmart and we're just like, hey, they've got Snowball in there.
Yeah.
She's been there about a week now.
Let's go get her.
And if you pay that $50, you can just
most places like that, even shelters, they'll for $50 or $100, they'll even spay or neuter as well as give them their shots. So
works out.
Yeah, it's awesome.
A buddy of mine went to I guess it was the Pound.
Yeah,
and they had it. And it's not like how you would think it. Like you walk inside and there's cable and rebar everywhere. It's like pretty much just all of these dirty things. There's a dirty box over there where we put most of the cats. No, it's not like that at all.
Right.
It's this really friendly, clean environment. They even label all of the personalities for the animal that you're about to buy.
That's
even
cool.
For the cats. Like usually they wait until like a year to where they can really predict what this cat's going to be like in the long run, and that's how they got their cat. And their cat is the coolest cat.
Yeah, cats are just legit. I mean, they're calm unless they just woke up from a nap. But they're calm. They're literally family members.
Yeah,
that's what they are. So
yeah,
I've got 2 at home. They are monster cats.
Yeah.
And I say monster in the best way only because their size is monstrous.
No, not my shoelace man. Come on.
Both my cats weigh about 24 pounds.
Yeah.
This one probably that one there probably weighs maybe 8 or 9. Yeah. Super tiny. He's like, what are you doing? But yeah. So yeah, obviously we've established that cats are they're better. But what is, and this is something that you might actually have to think about, that I can talk about first if you want me to. But what's your favorite cat in gaming?
I had to really think about this one.
You had to think about it? See, I knew immediately. I knew right off the bat what cat I was going to talk about.
Well, that makes it easy for you because my mind went all other places.
Oh, mine went to one place.
Well, we should probably go from your perspective.
You want to start with me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
So, mine is slightly cheating, kind of, only because the cat that I am talking about seems to have so the cat can talk, and it seems to think that it is a human trapped in a cat's body.
Okay, what?
However, if you play the game, you find out really what's going on. But this cat also can transform into a bus. And it's not Totoro. So I know you're probably thinking Totoro.
That's like a ripoff.
But this cat is Morgana from Persona 5. And Persona 5, you guys have heard me talk enough about it a lot. It's a super intense JRPG. It's like half high school simulator, half dungeon crawler. And it's amazing. But just said okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Sorry.
But Morgana is Morgana is a really, really cool cat. This one's friendly. This one says I want down. Morgana is kind of your party leader in the first dungeon, and then he becomes a side character, or not a side character, but a member of your party. He's got an awesome personality, really cool powers, kind of teaches you how the dungeons go in that game. And then when he's in the dungeon world, he's this like anime-looking cat. And then when he's in the real world, he looks like a cat. Like he looks like a black cat with... I saw one around here that looked a little bit like him. Maybe this little black one over here. But he's really, really cool. Really, really excellent character arc. Really well written. That's my favorite cat in gaming. It's Morgana.
All right. Well, that is pretty thorough because I was like in the shower thinking about all of these different things. I was like, I don't know.
I can show you what Morgana looks like too. It's really cool.
I pretty much See, I still can't.
So that's what he looks like in the dungeon world.
Okay.
And then in the human world, he just looks like a black and white cat.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. Okay, for me, I would have to say... Gosh. Wow. What are they doing?
they're playing.
See, I still can't remember. Because how many cat games are there out there? Like,
So, there's like Nintendogs plus cats.
Yeah, it's like games like that
See?
where you have to be a certain age to really enjoy them. Like,
Yeah.
they're Nintendogs is like something you play on your Game Boy Advance or something, right?
DS.
Okay.
DS and 3DS.
Okay.
Kitties! Don't fight, no! Don't fight each other, love each other.
One thing that just kept popping in my head was when you played GTA 5 and there's that cat sitting on the fence and you just push it over and it just runs away. I don't know why. It's not really like you care about cat. It's not like a cat-oriented game, but that just kept popping in my head that you could interact with animals that way. It's probably pretty terrible because that's not the best game
Little bit
to represent animals.
So you no other cats at all?
Let's do it.
Okay,
No,
not.
don't touch me.
I said no.
I thought of something. But I didn't realize you were there.
Yeah, that's what's making.
Oh my gosh.
Come here. Hello.
I guess does Shadow of the Colossus have cats?
So, Shadow of the Colossus, I don't know if I haven't ever played it, so I don't know if there is a Colossi that is like based on cats, but...
Honestly, there isn't a cat game that I can think of, but there is a dog game that I can think of.
Sure.
When you're playing Fallout, you get your companion,
dog meat.
and dog meat straight up attacks everything that you're engaging battle with.
Yeah.
I don't know why they couldn't do that with cats. I think that would have been a way better situation from my end.
Well, they'd have to make the cat huge.
Probably. Oh, and that gets us into something else we need to talk about, the musical. Yes.
Oh my
gosh. But
So
we'll get to that.
yeah, that's going to be our final topic.
Wow. So in an ideal world, I would be playing Fallout, and a cat would be my companion, and I would battle,
Those two are just going at it.
It has its ears pinned back, and I'm assuming that means it's mad.
They just need to go to opposite ends,
I know.
man. It's okay, guys. I love this one over here. It's just chilling next to the backpack.
Yeah. I'm just getting all sorts of love.
Also, Alex is getting all the love.
Yeah, my wife calls me the Cat Whisperer.
Oh, okay.
Which is a cool title.
Yeah, that is a cool title.
There are a number of strays that I come by, and I'm looking at, like, we'll finish up a date, and I'll see a cat under my car, and I'll be like, hey.
Hey, cat.
You want to come home with me?
Come here.
Yeah, my wife's like, you done? Come on, we can't. We don't have time for this.
Right, for sure.
We have to neuter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get around to it. Not a go-to video game on cats. I would have loved to have some. I think if I could make one, and it would just be like kind of like this, where you're in a lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you know what would be great? You create like an Oculus game where you just sit down and.
You know what? I'm not sure if there is one like that, but like a virtual cat cafe, I could see people getting into that.
Right.
I would rather go to the real thing.
That's true.
Just because, like, when you're playing like the virtual games, like you can't touch them. Like you can have like haptic feedback gloves and stuff on to where it feels like you're feeling them, but there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing like.
It's not like
this. Yeah, there's nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, super cool.
Yeah. You already have a pet, I think. Someone's adopted you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This one and her sister
Hello.
have a home for the future, which is good.
You're so pretty.
What else was there? We mentioned we were talking about some projects that we were working on.
Yeah. So, Alex and I have recently been into restoring some old stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys heard on our last side quest that we actually were restoring his old Game Boy, and we got it working 100% again. So it, obviously you can't get all the years out of it. So like there's some scuffs and stuff on the casing, but we were able to clean all the battery acid off of the PCB, and we were also able to get the buttons working just as well as when it first came. Oh, don't fall.
It's
Don't fall.
It's really neat that you can. I didn't realize you could do all these things with all your old tech. That you can just buy the parts that are out there. I guess they're stored in like a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah. So basically, when the molds became available, people were just printing molds of Game Boy parts and things like that. If you get a real good one, it'll actually still say Nintendo on it instead of just a blank oval there. But what we're going to end up doing, since now that we have the PCB working in order, his speaker is basically shot on that one Game Boy. He's got two identical ones. But we're going to desolder the speaker, put a new one on there, and then get a brand new case and buttons and all that fun stuff for him, so that on the outside it feels like a brand new Game Boy Color. And it'll be really cool. It'll work really well. Really looking forward to doing that. We just restored. Are you Lion Kinging that cat there?
I'm feeling love tonight.
That little kitty is so precious.
Oh man!
But we just restored a memory card. Unfortunately, I don't have the equipment to get the data off of the dead battery, but there are ways to do it. If you check out the channel My Life in Gaming, they actually have.
I learned that one already.
They have tutorials on like kind of how to back up data from battery backups, and you need some specialized equipment for it. But we got that memory card working again. We're gonna clean up his N64 pretty soon here. But the cool thing is that we've got old hardware working basically as though it were right out of the box again.
Yeah. Oh, pretty much.
And that's the goal with restoration. It's not just to make it look pretty, it's to make it playable.
Yeah. You're like the fixer-upper version of video game appliances.
Well, it does come with a lot of Googling. I'll just be real. It comes with a lot of like, okay, I don't know how to take the screen out. You know what I mean? So I have to look it up.
Yeah.
But once you do it once, you kind of get it down.
Yeah.
You kind of get it, to do it again.
Isn't that crazy to think that for future generations, the stuff that we play is going to become these antiques, and then people are going to repurpose them.
Oh yeah.
In a way
to
make them functional again, and then we're just like coming back and experiencing these things that are like, whoa.
So there's not only
better now.
Yeah, there's not only people who like repurpose hardware.
Yeah.
So like, hello. We did a whoa, don't fall. We did we talked a little bit about how like bands are now using Game Boys.
Yeah.
And like there are special cartridges that you can buy that have sound bites on them, and you can actually play the different sound bites through the buttons.
We should do a bit where we find like 5 of those bands and just like just get really technical with it.
I think so. My favorite one is called I Fight Dragons, and they're really really good. But there are all these different mods you can do to the Game Boys. Now there's front lights, there's back lights, there's sound mods, things like that. But there's also like you can basically use the Game Boy parts for other things too. Like there's a big community that takes old Apple Macs and turns them into aquariums, and they're called Macquariums. And it's the terminal.
I know.
And they turn them into little fish bowls.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's super cool.
Yeah. That's way more resourceful because. Did we lose a lot of cats? I feel like they're
going
through that hole, and then they don't come back for a little while. I don't know. Well, there are probably so many nooks and crannies in here we can't quite see them all because there's like one in there.
There's a couple of them jumped up the windows.
Yeah.
But
I want to test something out.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to see what you do. Show me show me the ropes, little kitty. Because I'm actually tall enough that I can.
Are you gonna put him up there?
Tell me what you do in this scenario, bud.
He says I want down.
Down.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at that!
Oh.
I hope you guys can see that because he just left.
Okay.
Oh, here it comes.
Oh. Wow.
I think Alex was hoping he would go across that bridge.
Does this look?
That's really cool. I love that that's up there for him.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this project. It's cool to just have something that I'm just gonna maybe just reuse as the years go by and keep it because it's a keepsake that I've had for a long time. But
Hello.
dude,
This one's super friendly. I'm not surprised this one is spoken for. There are really cool companies. There's a company called Analog.
Can you find my cat?
It is down here somewhere. Yeah. So there's a company called Analog that actually makes like new NESs, like new hardware, and they use something called an FPGA, which is like the core software that runs the games. So you can use old hardware with the games.
Okay.
And there's a rumor going around that they're making one for Game Boy. So it'll be like a backlit Game Boy that you can put original cartridges in and play them. So there's a big following for like huge retro collectors to have those systems. But it's really cool to see that like the retro community is almost like they're not resurging because they definitely have already resurged within the last 20 years.
Right.
But I love the fact that old hardware is coming back. You know, that's super cool to me. I love cassette tapes.
Yeah.
I love records.
Oh, yeah.
I love old video games, things like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll never forget this one student walking into my class with a cassette player.
yeah.
And even I never used cassettes.
No, I mean we're too young for that. Generationally,
Yeah.
we're a little young, but I still love them. I think they're analog methods of recording things. I think is super cool.
To segue from that, you mentioned something about CDs versus cartridges.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Like longevity. Like, do you think that CD-based systems will last as long as cartridges?
gosh, okay. I'm a cartridge person. You can probably
Me too.
tell that.
Yeah.
Because I've tried with PlayStation 2s and with PlayStation and those video game systems, and then I still have CDs where I just pop it into my player in my car.
Yeah.
And that works out great. But I don't get the kind of memories out of it.
Okay.
I have more memories out of my cartridges that I've kept over the years.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think they are way more reliable.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And that keeps me holding on to them. And like you walk into the retro stores and the ones in this area, you see the cartridges in there. There's a ton of them. But you could pluck it off the shelf, and it's been sitting there for probably a good 6 or 7 months.
Right.
And you could just plug it into the player, and it'll work like a charm. And I don't think you can attest to that kind of reliability with CD software all the time.
So the only thing that CDs could contest to that is the fact that they can be resurfaced.
Right.
But there is actually a big thing in the community where some collectors feel like a resurfaced disc is worth less than an original disc, which I think is crazy because I don't care. Like if I can play the game.
This dude here, he's like, should I lick his face?
Right.
I don't know what to do.
This one is the most friendly.
But I wanna be in between you guys.
Right. Welcome the newest member of the Cricket Party.
Exactly. The latest TCP member, possibly going to get some cat swag here.
Yeah. But I'm also not the kind of collector who just collects them to put them on a shelf. I buy them to play them.
Right.
So cartridges are definitely more reliable in that sense. as opposed to something like a CD. Another problem that I have with CDs is that their cases crack. It like way harder, or way worse, than like a and I mean cartridges used to come in cardboard boxes, so a lot of those cardboard boxes are gone now.
Like in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, I wish that as a kid I grew up and saved those boxes.
Right.
Definitely didn't. They're all gone.
They took up so much space.
Yeah.
They were not eco-friendly.
No, they're definitely not. And if you squished them, then they have those squish marks forever, and all that mess. But I've got PlayStation games that I've gotten home from the retro store, and like I sat the diaper bag on it or something, and they're cracked. And I'm like, I bought it because it wasn't cracked, but that's just me being picky, and I'm sure a lot of other collectors are picky like that too. But I really think that Nintendo made a good move going back to cartridges for the Switch.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I don't know. I'm able. It's a lot more functional too, where you can just grab a cartridge and just drop it into your things. Because you go through a lot. You need durability in the long run. Like I'm gonna need durability when I have kids running around.
Yes.
And you for sure need durability.
Oh man.
When you've got animals and pets and your wife and her friends and their
Mason.
friends and Mason.
Dude.
I think I mentioned him, but all these things going on at the Mackey house.
There have been times where Mason has just grabbed a cartridge and thrown it, and it's been fine.
You too? Come on, man.
My man's like, I want that.
Get this
that
out
cap.
here.
I'm actually gonna drink this real quick. But yeah, like there have been times where,
This one is.
ow. Yeah, he doesn't like to be held. He says no.
Okay. What do you want to do now?
But Mason has grabbed a case and thrown it, and then the disc gets dislodged.
Oh no, there's liquid there. Liquid water. Go on.
The disc gets dislodged in the case, and then like it's subject to being scratched.
Oh no.
But I mean, for a cartridge, if it gets scratched, the data's not hosed on it.
It's not hosed. Yeah.
So I don't know. I've always liked cartridges better.
Yeah.
Just overall.
I think that answers the question there. Durability, because cartridges can handle anything.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, and there's like you can carry cartridges a little easier. Yes, they do have those disc carriers, but when you're talking about a cartridge that is literally this big, as opposed to a disc.
Yeah.
Even the GameCube discs get cumbersome when you're carrying a bunch of those around.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And the resell them,
Oh yeah. So the cartridges are generally worth more.
Right.
Every Nintendo licensed game, you can sell them, and this is just a ballpark number from GameStop. You can sell every Nintendo licensed game back to GameStop for at least $30, if not like 25, 30, whatever. I have bought Xbox One and PS4 games that 3 weeks later they're worth like $4. So they're not even worth the plastic that they're printed on, and that's unfortunate, but it's a thing.
Yeah. So that brings me back to retro gaming over latest gaming. I know your buddies talk about the latest stuff. But for me, I think I'm just going to dwell on the past.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, because while there are, new IPs coming out all the time, new systems and things like that within games, retro is not only nostalgic, so like you get to feel like you're a kid again. You get to hold the same things that you held as a child.
Yeah.
But it also it's the fundamentals.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think in a sense, sorry, I might get philosophical here.
No, you're good.
I think in a sense, there's only...
My man tearing out a litter box.
I know. He's like, I'm finished with this.
Yeah.
And now I'm going back to playing. And he is... he's at the little spinny ball thing. But this one's like a pyramid. And there's one ball on top of another one that spins.
That's awesome.
Another one. Gosh, I could have fun with that.
I really hope that you guys can see what we see with the 360 camera. I hope the tables aren't blocking it, because there are literally there's cats everywhere.
Yeah.
I hope, and I'm sure you can see up in the window there, but it's just this place is literally awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
back to the retro games. They can only hold so much memory and data. They can only do so much. And I think video games in general, if they can encapsulate that, telling a story where you can interact and enjoy it and then come back to it as an adult and still want to play it and get back into that story, I think that's the niche you want to be in, rather than these big world concepts, more data, more gigabytes,
right.
all these things, more to create that environment. I think less is more in the long run of things, because you look at the things that are popular out there now, and then people forget about it after a year.
Oh, for sure.
You know, I mean, it's not even going to be a question like, I don't want to play that online game anymore because my friends don't play it anymore. It's lost its flavor. It's lost all of the fun. So I know a lot of people won't agree with that, because it's a trend. In a lot of cases it becomes a trend and people are all about it. But it becomes more about spending money to do these things. But I think, and you agree with this, because you know that you would buy something and you don't want to have to wait till the expansion. You don't want to have to wait until this new character comes out. It would be so nice to get all that up front. And I think back in the day, you would get what is up front out of a video game. You would either buy complete games or games that were incomplete out of the box and there was no hope for them. Right, I know. And there's, I mean, that's the way it was. And even then, it's not even about all the violence and graphics and stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's still out there back in the 90s and early 2000s. But some of the best games I've ever played don't even need all that much. No. Like, I play Pokemon all the time. It's really just taking a ball and tossing it and catching it and feeling good about it and being friends with it and being like, okay, this is what I've done. And in the long run, I've made a connection. And I've really had fun with this.
It's Pokemon is so visceral too. It's so just, I don't know how to describe it. I really don't, because it's been a part of my life since I was 4. Yeah. So it's ingrained in me. And you know what I mean? It's incredible.
Right. And in a way, I want to tell my students, like, guys, you don't have to play these games to have fun with your friends. You can be creative and experience that without being overexposed to all of this stuff. There's just so much stuff. And try your very best to just limit yourself in the get-go to what is out there, and that's just my 2 cents on it all.
Oh, for sure. Well, there's a really cool ideology behind less is more in retro gaming. Because there are games that literally you play as 18 squares put together.
Hey, bud.
You'll play as 18 squares put together to make a little character. And you'll get more out of that than you would out of something like Skyrim. Or, you know what I mean?
Oh, he's back.
He's been there the whole time.
I didn't even know that.
He's been there the whole time.
Oh, man.
When he got up, he just sat right behind you.
I had no idea. I was looking for him the whole way. I was like, where'd he go?
But there are even communities out there now that make new games on old hardware. So there are people making, like NES games that can fit on the 40, or I think it's 44 kilobytes. It might be 48. I apologize. Kilobyte cartridge, and they can only use that maximum number of kilobytes, and they can make a meaningful game out of it. It's really cool. Games like Metroid have vast worlds, immense, and some of that you have to use your imagination a little bit.
Sure.
But the majority of it, they told these incredible stories on these old systems, and even like Game Boy games. I love a good old Game Boy game because I'll put it in and I'm like, okay, there's literally like no context. They drop me in like Metroid 2, Return of Samus. They just put you in, and there's
yeah.
no map, there's no text,
Yeah.
there's no nothing.
Yeah, you gave me that Zelda game on the Game Boy, and right at the get-go, you don't have any inventory. You're just like there, and you have to walk and talk to people, and there's just like these little bit conversations going on one after the other. And I'm like, okay, I can't really
fit like 4 words on the screen at a time.
Do anything.
Yeah,
but
I love games like that.
That's the game. That's the premise. You go from one little text box to the next, and then as time goes by, you get all the fun toys.
It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah, I love it.
So, one cool thing. A parent, I don't remember if it was for my wife or for my, maybe it was my student, but he was basically just saying, we let our kids play these games, and every hour they play, they have to go back and read.
I like that.
So every hour they'll play a video game, Fortnite or whatever, they have to go back and read it.
So do they read an hour?
They read
for every hour they play?
They read an hour for every hour they committed toward video games.
That's cool.
So I'm thinking like back in that time, if I would have just read a whole book, that would cover maybe a whole day.
I remember reading Harry Potter, the original Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
I read it all in a day, but after that, the books became exponentially longer, and I didn't have a system like that set up.
Yeah.
But reading is a totally different world. I mean, I can get caught up in reading and literally just lose myself.
Yeah.
Like Ready Player One, I think I read.
Oh man.
For hours on end and just couldn't put it down.
I know.
Which, by the way,
I know. Sponsor drop.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll leave our sponsor right here. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial on us. They have over 180,000 titles to choose from, and you can listen on your iPhone, Android phone, Kindle, or even your MP3 player. For our listeners, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day free trial in order to give you the opportunity to check out their service. We recommend you check out Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. It's one of our favorites. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/TCP podcast. Again, that's audibletrial.com/TCP podcast for your free audiobook. And now, let's get back to the cast. And we're back. Yeah, so
clever.
Right. But I mean it's a different type of media consumption.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see how they think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So Whitney and I were talking yesterday about Mason and how, because he's 1 now, and I don't generally play, if I play something super violent, it's not with him around. But we were talking about, what's the right age to introduce him to, if all of his friends are playing Halo 14 or whatever, or Gears of War 12.
Please, I hope not.
Whatever the new thing is, because, all the kids are going to be playing something at some point.
Yeah.
What is a good time to introduce him to that? Are we going to let him play M games when he's a teenager? Are we going to limit the and we came to the decision, just as his parents, to slowly kind of dip his toes in the water, but to make sure that he can distinguish the differences between a game and reality.
I think the key point there, people are wanting to play with cats. Sorry, guys. I think the key point there.
Well, we're going to wrap up in a minute here, but
yeah. A couple more talking points, but we'll get to is communicating it all through the process.
And that's
if you're going to introduce a kid to an M-rated game, you're going to explain this is what's going on in this game, and then here is why I'm going to talk to you about it. So play the game, and then don't hold it back from them. Yeah, because the worst thing you can do is say you can't. And this is a personal opinion. Yeah, you're not allowed to do anything with that. Ever. Yeah. Not once, ever. Because that's going to make the kid go, I want it. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's definitely what I explained to you in the past podcast we did. Right, for sure.
So our last talking point, we've gotten to all of it, is Cats the Musical.
Cats the Musical.
Oh,
man.
Not yes or no. Your notes said Cats the Musical.
I just wrote to you,
why?
I know.
As much as I love Cats, I cannot get behind Cats the Musical. And that's just me. I don't know why they're making it into a movie.
Oh man! And I watched the trailer and I was like, "What is happening?
It's cringe.
What is happening?
It's cringeworthy."
And you
but
see the cast they have for that? I'm like, what? How?
It's immense.
How?
But
Ian McKellen, freaking Gandalf is a cat.
I know. It's
what?
It's weird. But that's what's happening. So, before Alex responds, I just want to just say, if you are a listener of the TCP podcast, let us know why Cats the Musical is a thing. And it's just so weird.
Do you want to continue? Because I feel like I could just...
Well, we got to wrap up. Because unfortunately our hour is coming to an end here at Daily Mews. But we'll have to capture your thoughts. That'll be a special
segment.
Oh my gosh, that'll be a special where Alex gives his thoughts on Cats the Musical. But thank you guys for listening. Once again, we're here at Daily Mews. Their website again is dailymewscharlotte.com. Be sure to swing by, check it out, hang out with some of the kittehs because they are super friendly. The owners are awesome, and they've got beautiful cats, well taken care of. Super cheap. They do. They do need a home. Some of them are adoptable. So, if you're interested, be sure. I'll put a link to their website and all that fun stuff right below us, right here. All that fun stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to follow us at the Cricket Party on Twitter, and let us know what you guys think about this new 360-degree view.
I might try that at home.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be doing some more content and stuff like that with that. So yeah, but thank you guys for listening, and thank you so much, Alex, for joining me again.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're gonna go catch some more Pokemon.
Yes, we are.
So we'll catch y'all in the next one.
Bye.